other people you'll be encountering. I'll be giving you further details on why these things are very crucial. But it is time for us to hear from our guest speaker, is our main speaker. This is a very wonderful man. I don't take it lightly that he has taken time to join us in this particular conversation, because he always has very wonderful things to share. He is the host of the Citi Breakfast Show and also general manager of Citi TV and Citi FM. He's a mentor as far as I'm concerned, Bernardino Koku Avle. So without further ado, like I promised, he was speaking to us at 5:30. Bernard, we're ready to hear you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Theophilus. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you.
Fantastic. Wow. You've said a lot. I don't even know if I have anything else to say. I really enjoyed your 3 points: academic work, extracurricular, and vacations. Very important. And it's funny because the other 3 things you wanted to talk about are actually in my presentation. So I will take it up from where you left off, and then we can have a good discussion. I want to share my screen because these days I noticed that people want to follow you not just verbally, but they also want something to carry home. So I'm going to share my screen, and if you allow me to do that, that will really be helpful. So guys, thank you for allowing me into your spaces, and this is what I'm going to be talking about for the next few minutes. The topic is what I wish I knew before matriculation. You know, I got there late because then by the time I got to the matriculation the next morning, they were about to finish. So I wish I had a shortcut between my hall and the grade hall. I would have gotten matriculation early. But that's just by the way. So what I'll do today is I'm going to talk about what I wish I knew about 5 different things. Okay, I hope that you can follow this presentation. What I wish I knew about God before matriculation. What I wish I knew about myself before matriculation. Theophilus spoke about God, spoke about yourself and others. What I wish I knew about education before matriculation. What I wish I knew about relationships, and what I wish I knew about the world of work. Right. So this is the 5 things I wish I knew. I went to Legon in the year 2000. I was 19 years old. We had a 2-year. We stayed home for 2 years because of university strike, and so it was. I had gotten to Legon with a lot of different ideas about university life. As Theophilus said, God is very critical. What I'll say is that I wish I knew some of the things I know now about God before I entered the university, because I had wrong assumptions about who God was. I thought God would plan my life for me. I thought once God loves me, it means everything will work out fine. I didn't know that I had a responsibility too. So I think we need to know a bit more about God before we enter and succeed in the university. The university is like a microcosm for life. I'm trying to move the slide. I don't know why it's not moving. The university is like a microcosm for life. And so it's the final preparation stage before you enter real life. And so if you are not clear in your mind who God is, what he does, you may run into a lot of trouble. So first thing, God has a purpose for my life. I wish I knew that in a better way. Now, Jeremiah 1:5, God's purpose is the reason he made you. University is, in my view, the final stage before you enter the reality of work or your own business. You need to know God's purpose for you before you go to campus. This is very important because we are all very different. We are all very different. And university or tertiary institutions play different roles in different destinies. This is very important. If you are Steve Jobs or Bill Gates, you may just do 2 years and stop and start your own company. But if you are another person, you may have to finish, do a master's before you even get a job. So know your purpose. Number 2, Jeremiah 29:11. I know the plans I have for you. God has plans for you, but he doesn't plan your life. There's a difference. He has different things he's faced for you. Pre-university, university, national service, working for somebody, starting your own business, getting married, being a parent, becoming a senior citizen. He has plans for you, but his plans cannot happen without your cooperation. You are not Apostle Paul. He will not come to you at noonday and shine his light on you and make you blind. If you don't cooperate, nothing will happen. Number 3, I wish I knew more about the faithfulness of God, because when I entered campus, there were lots of things I was worried about. In my first year on campus, I had to teach to supplement my income. I wanted to be independent from my parents very early. And knowing that God was faithful helped me to live a more quality life. Number 4, the thing that pleases God most is if you believe him. Mike Murdoch says, God's only pleasure is to be believed, and his only pain is to be doubted. You need to believe in what God has said concerning you. That's what will keep you going when people discourage you, when you don't have money, when things are getting tough, when lecturers are harassing you, when you run for elections and lose, or when you fail a paper. You need faith. This is very important. Number 5, God knows you. He knows your weakness. He searches the heart. That means you can't hide anything from him. This is very important. You must be open with him. So the first thing I wish I knew before matriculation has to do with my Creator. If I knew him better, I probably would have made my journey easier. I hope you guys can still hear me. Second thing, myself. Let me give you 2 quotes. This is Pythagoras, the Greek philosopher. He says, man or woman, know yourself, then you will know your universe and your God. Because everybody's world is experienced through their own frame of reference. Self-awareness is crucial for excellence as a leader. The greatest similarity between many of the best leaders in the world is that they know themselves. They know their weaknesses. They know their strengths. They know their motivations. Now, you don't enter university not knowing what you are good at, not knowing what you have to improve. It can hurt you because let's assume you go to Legon and they give you philosophy. You may not like it. You may be looking to do drama because your strength is in drama. Knowing your strength helps you decide what you will do with the philosophy to support what you really want to do when you leave campus. If you don't know your strength, you may think that because I've been given philosophy, I have to become a philosopher. So you need to know your strength. Guys, this is very important. You can't hear me? Oh, sorry. Let me check my mic.
We can hear you perfectly well, so it probably could be a network.
A network problem, please. I think we can hear you. Yeah,
we can hear you.
Okay, cool. Cool. Okay, somebody said it couldn't hear me. The one who can't hear me, please check your audio settings. Check your audio settings and check your sound. So you need to know your top strengths. Let me give you a definition of a strength. Talent plus knowledge plus skill is equal to strength. You can write that down. Talent plus knowledge plus skill is equal equal to strength. You may be talented in graphic design because you can draw very well. You add knowledge, that is information about graphic design to your talent. And then you practice many works of graphic design, that is to gain the skill. When you put the talent and the knowledge and the skill together, you get a strength. If you are Serena Williams, your talent may be playing tennis. Your father, Richard Williams, teaches you the theory of playing tennis with your sister Venus. Then you practice incessantly from the age of 9. You gain the skill of serving the ball, doing backhand, forehand, playing doubles. It eventually becomes a strength so that when you are 17, you win Wimbledon. Talent is never enough to gain a strength. If you are Bernard Avle, you may be a great talker. You need to read about public speakers. Get a book from Larry King and read it. Then you practice for 4 years at Rivers. MC all kinds of programs. When you do that for 4 years and you get to Citi FM, communication becomes your skill. So know your strengths. Second, know your weaknesses. Know what distracts you. Know the things that demotivate you. Know what you are not good at. Some of the things you are not good at, you need to get people to help you to improve. You need to know that before you get to campus. You need to know, for example, that you are not very good studying on your own and you are better working as a group. So you form a study group. Or you are better studying on your own than studying in a group. We are not all the same. Maybe your weakness is reading subjects. You are good at calculations. You must develop a method of improving your weaknesses too. Number 3, know what motivates you and put it in front of you. There are so many discouraging voices in the world. Don't fill your ears with bad news alone, because university life can be very tough. Find things that motivate you. In fact, in discussing the third point about relationships, I'll come back to the motivation. This is very important. So guys, know your strength, not all your strength, but at least some. And tell yourself, what can I do in the next 3 years to become the best at this by the time I leave campus, right? What can I do? So I started teaching before I entered university. Level 100, I was still teaching. It helped to improve my public speaking skills. Then I got a volunteer job at Radio Universe. Did that for 4 years. Helped my speaking skills. I became the student coordinator, leadership skills. Whilst I was a journalist, learning how to write. Then I did campus politics, JCR secretary, learning how to campaign and be accountable to students. LPU is the church on campus, developing my spiritual life. All of that is important. So know yourself. You are the best person to know yourself. Be self-aware, guys. It will help you know who to associate with. Another example, when I got to Legon, level 100, my brother was in level 300. He was the music director of the mass choir. And he was the music director of the, what we call Chosen Vessels Choir. Some of you call it we call it UCF, but some of you call it IHCF. He was the choir director. So I went to join the choir to sing. Guys, I was useless. I was miserable. I'm not a musician. Singing is not my hobby. I wanted to just belong. So I followed my brother for 1 year. I just wasted that 1 year. Sometimes you need to fail at something to know you are not good at it. So for 1 year, I was in the mass choir. Nobody remembered I was in that choir because I was lousy. Number 3. So before I go there, knowing yourself is about who said that. Aristotle. Plato and Aristotle. Knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. Don't forget, Archimedes, Pythagoras also says, knowing yourself is the window to knowing universe and knowing God. Third thing, I hope you guys can see my screen, by the way, because I'm still sharing it. Yes. Third thing, I wish I knew before matriculation. Education. When we were in secondary school, we just wanted to get 7 A's. I finished pre-sec in 98 subjects. All of us wanted to get 7 A's. I got 5 A's. I wasn't very happy. I wanted to get 7. We just wanted to blow. But education is broader than schooling, because even though in school you get education, there's more you need in life than school. School is a controlled environment. The best knowledge you gain is not in a controlled environment. Whatever you are taught in a classroom has to be applied in the real world. So schooling is great, but don't enter university with a schooling mindset. Why am I saying this? Some of the most enduring things I know, I didn't learn in the classroom. Learning how to write minutes. When I was LPU secretary, I was the secretary of LPU. I was the secretary of the debaters club in Presec, and I was the secretary of LPU. Managing a church, every Sunday we need a preacher from outside. I send them a letter at the beginning of the semester. Every week I call them to remind them they are coming to preach. The Friday before, I make sure they are coming. Saturday, they are sent a message. If Sunday by 9 o'clock we call and they don't pick their phones, we have an alternative. I didn't learn that in the classroom. Being an MC, I've earned thousands of Ghana cedis from being an MC. I didn't learn that in the classroom. Education is broader than schooling. Theophilus said he was coming from a student perspective, and I was coming from the real world perspective. That is only partially true. What I like about Theophilus is that even he's not a student, he's a learner. So I'm not a student, I'm a learner. You can graduate but still continue learning. Bishop Oyedepo said, the day you stop learning, you start dying. He didn't say the day you stop schooling, you start dying. Otherwise, only students will live. What that means is that learning continues even outside of school. Guys, I hope I'm making sense to you. What I'm trying to say is that the 4 years you are on Takrady Polytechnic or KNUST, Kumasi Polytechnic, your learning does not have to be limited to the classroom. Are we together? Third point under education. Being willing to learn is only half of the success equation. You must be committed to apply what you learn. Can I repeat? Being willing to learn is only half of the success equation. You must be committed to apply what you learn. So you must have a willingness to learn and a commitment to application. If you don't apply what you learn, there's no point in acquiring the knowledge. Many people are gatherers of information, chew and pour. You must apply it. How do you apply knowledge? Put yourself in uncomfortable situations, because discomfort is the key to innovation. Put yourself in uncomfortable situations where on weekends you are teaching in a public school. They are not really paying you that well, but you are learning how to deal with difficult kids because you want to do psychology and you want to learn, you want to do child psychology. And if you spend a vacation teaching a Saito in your area, it's discomfort, but you are applying what you learn in a way that reading a book will not teach you. Please, are we together? So Theophilus spoke about internships. Volunteerism is putting yourself in a discomfortable situation. There was the school I was teaching before I entered university. It was over 30 minutes of walking to go and teach and 30 minutes walking back. When I closed the school, there was a school bus, but I didn't go by a school bus. I would walk. So discomfort is an opportunity to apply what you've learned. Guys, are we together? Final point under education. Aim for mastery of the thing. Don't just get a master's degree. There are some things nobody can take away from me. In terms of learning, don't learn to pass exams. Learn the thing so that even when you are sleeping and they wake you up, you can still explain it. Do you understand what I'm saying? Don't just say, oh, I understand indifference curves. What does it actually mean? Or how does it apply to my life? Do you understand? And know the thing. Don't just read it. Be a master. Understand the philosophy of the thing. Be a master. At least there should be one or two things that you are a master of. That when somebody calls you and says, Charlie, Aloski, I know they understand this subject, so you go feel help me. Say, oh, come, I go fish right. There are some things that if you wake me up at 1 a.m., you give me a pen and a paper, I will explain it to you, even up to now. I'm telling you. National income, consumption, plus government spending, plus investment spending, plus net exports. I understand it practically. If I'm interviewing a finance minister, I can still apply it today. I learned it in level 200. Please, are you following what I'm saying? Be a master of the thing. Don't just... So beyond knowing it and understanding it, you must be able to apply it in real life. That's what I'm saying. Can I move on? Fantastic. So we've spoken about knowing God. We've spoken about knowing yourself. We've spoken about understanding education. The fourth thing I wish I knew before matriculation, Theophilus alluded to it. I was so naive about people. Guys, this one there, if you don't know, it can kill you. When I say relationship, I'm not just talking about boy, girl. I'll tell you something. The most successful people in the world are not necessarily the nicest people in the world. But the most successful people in the world are people who know how other people function so they can get the best from them. Can I repeat this? Successful people are not the nicest people. They know that Kojo Akoto is good at engineering. Bernard is good at economics. Goffert is good at international relations. Nathan is good at music. Kokui is good at languages. And they put them together into a team. They know that some people are motivated by reward. Some are motivated by fear. If you don't know what makes people tick, you will suffer in this world. When I was a JCR secretary for Legon Hall, I understood what motivated the hall tutor. When we go for JCR meetings, it was sometimes very difficult to reconcile student position with the faculty position. I had to quickly learn what motivates my hall master and my hall tutor, and also how to present the student needs without him feeling threatened. Please, am I making sense? 3 relationships you must master. Everybody needs somebody above them. That's what I call mentors. Mentors. I was mentored by some of the best people. Some of your mentors, you will never see them. Read their books. Some of the people you emulate in your profession are not even in Ghana. So mentorship doesn't mean come to my office every day, 5 o'clock, and say, Bernard, please, what do I do today? Read the things they write. Listen to the programs they do. Go to events that they organize. Be mentored by the best. Number 2, motivators. They are at your friendship level. Don't forget I said to you that I know my motivators. Everybody needs somebody at their level. So when I was in Legon, I had Farouk Sai, I had Yellow, I had Alfred Enim. We're in the same study group. We had Fosua. We are all in the same class. We wanted to do different things. One of them is working at Coca-Cola. The other is working at a bank. One is in the UK, working in a different company. But we motivated each other. We motivated each other. I'll be on the Zoom. I'll be done. Yeah. Guys, are we together? So, find people. Friendship is not by force, it's by choice. Find can motivate you. I think the most important relationship you must develop on campus is motivators. Your friends, your colleagues, your peers. Number 3, look for people below you that you empty yourself into. You will not be promoted until you are overqualified for your position. And if you don't pour yourself into the next generation, you can't. So guys, even if you're in level 100 fresher, some people are in your class who don't even understand the lectures. Go and teach them. You will only remember what to teach somebody else. So you need motivators. 4th point, you need to understand marriage. When I was on Legon campus, they said I was a chewer because first I didn't have a girl. Okay. Now, I'm happily married now. I've been married for 10 years. I'm enjoying my marriage. Because for me personally, Legon was not a place to find a girlfriend because I was doing so many things. But there are some people who are my friends who also met their partners on campus and they are still very happy. So you must know the role that plays in your life and where you are. Please do follow me. This one is a very personal issue. If you are not mature and developed and you are not emotionally mature, don't go and waste any girl or any boy's time. You just have fights because campus life is already stressful. Please, are we together? So it's not by force to get a girl or a boy. Do you understand? As I'm sitting here, imagine they said, oh, Bernard, you did 4-0. First year, no girl. Second year, no girl. Third year, no girl. Fourth year, no girl. Does it matter now?
No.
And somebody call into my show and say, I lost you. The time you did gone 4 years, you don't get girl, you be chewer. Well, I have a beautiful wife. I have nice kids. It's not so. It's not. Don't force yourself if you're not ready. But I also think some of the best people you can meet in your future are with you on campus. Quick point about marriage: know yourself and pray about it. Another quick point I'll say. Generally speaking, but don't know what type of woman they want until they are in their 30s. You are typically broke, you don't have any authority. So your girlfriend what you need in a woman at age 22 is not what you need driving your own car and you have your own office. Do you understand? So you can develop friendships on campus, but in terms of choosing a marriage partner, be sure you are in a mature space before you make that choice. This also applies to women. Your needs at age 21 may not be your needs at age 29. So my advice is keep a large pool of friends and make sure you are somewhere in a better position to learn. Mean people. Enemies, there are people who will just hate you. Some lecturer just wants to fail you. Somebody just wants to destroy you. You need to learn about those people too. Those people keep me humble and they also keep me learning. Because if I know somebody wants to destroy me, I'll be more sure that whatever I say is true. Somebody says, an opponent will give you in a day what an ally will not give you in a lifetime. So sometimes you must be grateful for opponents. Final thing I wish I knew, and this is my final 2 slides. I wish I knew more about the world of work. People, I'm not talking about just employment too. This includes your own business. I wish I understood how the world of work was before I went to campus. You must develop marketable skills. I'm going to show you a slide. You can save this particular slide on your screen or use your phone to take a picture of this slide. Look at this slide. Look at column right. 6 years ago, these are the things, and these skills are not just for employers, it's for successful people. So this includes those who want to start your own company. Look at it. In 2015, the top 10 skills of the most successful people. This is World Economic Forum. Complex problem solving. Coordinating with others. So these are the skills you must develop. This is 5-6 years ago. People management, critical thinking, negotiation, quality control, orientation, judgment and decision making, active listening, creativity. Now this is 5 years ago. Okay, write on your paper the subject you are studying at university now. Whatever you are studying at university now, write it down. How many of the subjects can you actually relate to these things? Or what are you learning in your class that teaches you these things? Let's be honest. Let's be very honest, guys. Right? Look at the things you are learning in class. How many of these 10 things are we together? So you need to, and now this is 6 years ago. Now come to 2020. Look at column on the left. According to some of the biggest managers in the world, the top 10 skills required last year. And guys, this is before COVID. So imagine if you add COVID-19 to this one. If you imagine, this is even before COVID. Complex problem solving, critical thinking, creativity, people management. Look at point number 5. Point number 5, I learned it being a JCR executive, coordinating with others. Emotional intelligence, I learned it dealing with students who will keep insulting you. Someday I went to announce a JCR meeting. Somebody insulted me and my mother. I was in Lagos Hall with a megaphone. It was a Friday evening. I was going to announce that we have a JCR meeting the next morning. Lagos Hall and XA. The guy insulted me, insulted my mother. Okay. In emotional intelligence, what do I do? Do I also insult him back on the megaphone? An emotional intelligent person knows when to react. I didn't learn that studying economics. I learned that announcing JCR meeting, somebody was insulting me. Look at point 7, judgment and decision making. How do you learn that? How do you learn that? How do you learn judgment? Now, a few weeks ago, 2 of my employees had a dispute. They came to sit in front of me. Everybody had their own case. How do I know who is lying and who is speaking the truth? How do I make a decision? Service orientation. It was in 2015. It's still here. Negotiation. You come to Citi. You want to work. How much should they pay you? Please pay me anything. Oh, I should pay you anything. Oh, okay. National service, you pay them 520. I'll give you 520. That doesn't mean that you say, oh, shall they pay me 5,000? We don't pay any fresher 5,000. But you must know negotiation. Understand your options. Study the person you're talking to. Understand the company. Right? Final one. Point number 10.
Okay.
Cognitive flexibility. Being able to switch. In my company, sometimes I'm a presenter. Sometimes I'm an interviewer. I'm also a manager. Sometimes I'm writing reports for my boss. Other times I'm supervising people to help me do things. You must be able to switch. That's what it means. Your mind must not be fixed in one direction. Sometimes my mathematical skills are required. We are doing a budget analysis. Other times we are discussing Supreme Court. I must be able to discuss legal issues. We are discussing rape. I must understand emotional and psychological things. You need cognitive flexibility. All these 10 things, you will not develop it just going for lectures. I'm not saying don't go for lectures. Put yourself in discomfort. Join a group. Organize a whole week. Do volunteerism. Go and paint a school. Do something to put you in a difficult situation to learn. Mike Tyson says, everybody has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. You get punched in the mouth by going out. Let me end with this last one. A lot of people are confused about what to do between what they are good at, what they can be paid for, and what they actually love. This slide did it for me. If I knew this before campus, I would allocate my time. Look at the circle on top. What you love is not the same as what the world needs. Let's give a very good example. You love music. You're a keyboardist. That's great. Okay? And you're a very good keyboardist. So you are good at keyboards. So your passion is music. But your passion may not be able to pay the bills because nobody wants to pay a full-time musician. They want you to be a session boy in church. Are we together? So even though you love music and you are good at music, it's only your passion. You can decide, well, let me study marketing, get a job at Vodafone. So you're also good at marketing and you are paid for marketing. Marketing is your profession. Music is your passion. Am I making sense? Or you can even say, even though I've studied marketing, I'm not that good at it, but I also know how to do transcripts for people. I can write very well. And a lot of people want to write their books. I'll become a ghostwriter. That's your vocation. It's what you can be paid for that the world needs. So your vocation is ghostwriting. Your profession is marketing. Your passion is music. Guys, am I making sense? And finally, what you love and what the world needs is your mission. You want to teach people how to play keyboard. Eventually, the money you get from your vocation and your profession can feed your passion and your mission. The intersection of the four is your purpose. What I wish I knew before matriculation. If I knew this, trust me, yes, I got a first class. Yes, I'm doing the job I'm doing, but I lost a lot of weight whilst I was on campus because I overstretched myself. If I knew these things, I would have graduated still with a first class, but I would have probably been happier at graduation. Thank you very much for your attention. I hope you've learned something new. Theophilus, back to you.
Wow. Thank you very much, Bernard. We're very grateful for those important words, and they're very, very inspiring. As a matter of fact, I don't think I have anything else to present because I was going to be speaking on, the people we've been meeting. And Bernard, I think you've done, a very excellent job on explaining all these pieces of information that we need. And I'm very grateful for that one. I mean, from my end, I'm sure everybody else has greatly benefited from these pieces of information. At this juncture, we would give way for 5 questions. If you want to ask a question, feel free to unmute yourself and then